I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about blood pressure, high blood pressure. We talk about low blood pressure, which is another problem some other time, but today we'll focus on high blood pressure. This is something that plagues millions of people across the world, and we need to take care of it. Number one, we need to identify it, because there could be silent high blood pressure that happens. We get throbbing headaches, we have changes in our energy levels, and palpitations in our heart, and we ignore these symptoms, and our systolic could be spiking up to 150, 180, even 200. And when you don't get this treated, it starts to damage the arteries in your heart, it starts to damage the nephrons in your kidney, and that's why high blood pressure can cause kidney disease, it can cause kidney failure, it can cause heart problems. But the point is, I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to tell you to be aware. Get your blood pressure checked if you have symptoms, because sometimes it can be silent. Now, what happens if you do have high blood pressure? There are many things that you can do. Never be against medication, because like I said, you would rather be on medication to control your systolic and diastolic rather than doing damage internally to your kidney, heart, and other organs in the human body. Now, the choice to stay on medication is purely up to you. If you make lifestyle changes, most people can eventually get off their high blood pressure medication. Your doctor will do it when he assesses you, realizes you've changed your lifestyle, and sees your readings of your systolic and diastolic slowly changing over time. And there's a very small population that, because of certain conditions that they have, may need to be on it for a lifetime. But for everyone else, here's what you can do. I'm going to teach you the lifestyle changes that we've made for hundreds and hundreds of patients around the world who are no longer on blood pressure medication. We've not removed them off their medication, their own doctors have. Well, let's start by understanding the relation of stress with high blood pressure. It's simple. If you are chronically stressed, every time you and I get stressed, our blood pressure goes up automatically for everyone. And it's okay, the stress event is over and our blood pressure comes down. This is fine. But when we're chronically getting stressed, we're stressed all the time, we're not taking breaks, we don't relax, we're in the sympathetic nervous system all the time, your high blood pressure continues to stay higher and higher, and that affects us. So let's talk first about stress. Even the most simple deep breathing exercise can reduce your systolic and your diastolic readings. We've done this in our offices. We've had people check their pressure when they're stressed out and it's high. We put the machine away, we ask them to do a couple of deep breathing rounds, and we check their systolic and diastolic, and their pressure is down by 10 to 20 to even 30 points. That is how quickly you can move from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's how quickly your blood pressure can drop. Which is why when we're stressed out, we try to manage our stress, but we also try to manage our breath. Simply by slowing down your inhale and making your exhale longer than your inhale, you can change your blood pressure. And that's why we got to be continuous. We got to observe ourselves during the day. Am I breathing shallow? Am I doing chest breathing? I'm in the sympathetic nervous system. Or am I doing belly breathing? Or am I taking breaks every hour to just take a minute to reset my breath, to slow it down? Understanding that emotional suppression, when we suppress our emotions like anger, guilt, resentment, unforgiveness, all of these things, rage, we're going to have high blood pressure automatically. So emotional stress is something that you need to look at, and simple things like meditation, deep breathing, focusing on pranayama, spirituality, prayer, living a life with faith, all of these things can really help us handle our stresses in life. The biggest thing, anxiety. If we are controlling things and people that are not in our control, you're always going to have stress, you're always going to have a problem. But when you learn that you cannot control certain people and things, and you need to let go, accept, or surrender, that helps you manage your stress better and channel all of your energy into things and people that you can, exert certain actions and control over. Exercise, simple. You're sedentary, you have a big problem. You got to start moving. You need to keep your blood vessels supple and elastic. For that, you need to move, you need to walk, you need to do yoga, you need to lift weights, you need to lift your body weight, but you need to exercise. You need to exercise. At the same time, you don't over-exercise. If you're over-exercising and under-recovering, you can have high blood pressure. If you're overtraining and not eating the right food to support your training and not resting the right amount of rest, you can have high blood pressure. So everything in balance, and that's why athletes eat, sleep, and train, and eat, sleep, and train. So if you're training more, you got to rest more, and you got to eat according to your training. So movement and exercise is fantastic for you. Spending time in nature, beautiful, because it has an automatic relaxing impact on every one of the trillion cells in your body. Spending more time in nature. What about when it comes to your nutrition? Obviously, people have demonized salt, and salt is bad for high blood pressure. The excessive intake of salt, because you eat junk food, you eat restaurant food, which always has more fat, more sugar, and hidden salt in. All the sauces that they use in your restaurant food that is rich in sodium creates problems. But don't forget carbohydrates. You can literally lower your blood pressure and possibly reverse it at some point when you stop overeating carbohydrates. I'm not against carbs. I'm for smart carbohydrates, but the right quality and the right quantity at the right time. In fact, most people's triglycerides and cholesterol levels will correct, and most people's pressure problems will reduce when they start to respect carbohydrates and not overeat it. So salt is not really the problem. It is where you're getting all the hidden salts from. But if you're having home food with the right amount of salt, it's absolutely fantastic for you. There is absolutely no reason to reduce your salt unless you have doctor instructions to reduce it because you have an electrolyte balance or you have a problem with your kidney. You want to increase your potassium because the right levels of potassium will automatically flush out the extra sodium in your kidney. So you need to understand that potatoes, spinach, dry fruits, certain fruits like citrus fruits, nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables are rich sources of potassium. And you need to have the right levels of potassium to keep your sodium levels in balance. So it's so important for you. That's why certain kidney patients or certain patients with uncontrolled blood pressure will actually be given potassium supplements. I don't advise that if you are not that patient. Get your potassium from your potassium-rich foods to balance your overall sodium levels in your body. Hydrated. If you're dehydrated, you have an electrolyte imbalance in your body. So make sure you are hydrated. So when it comes to nutrition, this is what we want to do. Hibiscus tea is so powerful. It works like magic. But again, there's a disclaimer. If you are on high medication for your blood pressure, please keep your doctors in the loop because hibiscus tea can lower your blood pressure and we don't want it to go so low that you now have low blood pressure. So a cup of hibiscus tea will definitely lower your systolic and diastolic. Don't overdo it on it, and keep your doctor in the loop. So in case your pressure reading starts falling, your doctor can actually reduce your medication. Because as you start making lifestyle changes, your systolic and diastolic is going to get better. And guess what? If you check your readings regularly with your doctor will be happy to reduce your medication and bring you down to a minimum dosage or even get you off it. Smoking, I don't want to talk about it. It's going to make your blood pressure worse. Excessive drinking of alcohol is also going to do the same thing. And finally, we come to sleep. Sleep has a direct impact on your blood pressure. You sleep deprived, the higher your blood pressure. You sleep deeply at night, your blood pressure can get better. So you see, there's no magic food that will work alone. Hibiscus tea is not going to take away your blood pressure alone. You still got to exercise. You got to sleep well. You got to look after your stress levels and your breath. By doing these simple lifestyle changes with consistency, we have people all over the world reducing their blood pressure medication with their doctor in the loop and coming back to completely a normal lifestyle without medication. Now you can do that. In cases where there's complications of the kidney and diabetes and everywhere else, you got to work with your doctors to taper it off, but you got to make the same lifestyle changes. It's absolutely easy. People, the golden word is consistency. And the golden word is lifestyle changes. Be consistent with your lifestyle changes, your sleep, your emotional wellness, your exercise, and your nutrition. And your body starts to work for you. You compromise this and your body starts to work against you. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.